Okay. You ready?
Yeah, welcome everybody to Afterthoughts. This is a shit. No, I'm just kidding. I don't
dare
do
you.
that stuff.
That's my line. And you do the plot summary.
I know. I'm just figuring.
How dare you take that from me? I wanted to start this off with a quiz about A Christmas Carol.
Do it.
Okay. So, how well do you remember the end of the Muppet Christmas Carol? The last line of the movie.
God bless us, everyone.
Correct. Who says it?
Tiny Tim.
Incorrect.
Oh, it was Scrooge.
Yeah, which is weird because obviously Tiny Tim says it in every other version and in the book.
Yeah.
Why does he say it?
I guess to signify he's changed, I guess.
I guess, but you're kind of stomping on Tiny Tim's only memorable line.
Wow.
I'd be upset if I was the little
little Muppet thing?
Muppet. Yeah, little Kermit.
Tiny Kermit Muppet?
Tiny Kermit.
Are you sure that's correct?
What do you mean?
That Scrooge is the one who says it?
Oh, yeah, because I edited the top 10 Christmas movies for Screw Attack this week, and that's how I ended it. So I know, yeah, he definitely says it, and it's weird.
Yeah, right. I'm going back to double check your facts.
Do it. Go ahead.
But I can wait.
All right. On to stave one.
I get it, because the book has staves. You're confusing the audience, man. This is about movies, not about books.
Welcome, everyone, to Afterthoughts. Merry Christmas. This is coming out on Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas!
What part of the intro have I said? Welcome to Afterthoughts. This is a podcast where we rewatch movies, we compare our first and second impressions, and discuss a related topic. My name is Joshua Kazemi, and I'm here with my co-host, Cole the Coleman Taylor Thomas.
That's me.
And we are joining you this morning, on Christmas morning, to talk to you about The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Muppet Christmas Carols.
All of the words in that title, very important.
I even put it plural, even though it's not. It's just one carol.
Yeah. Why do you think they chose the instead of a? A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Because this is the definitive Muppet Christmas Carol. It will never be done again.
So if they do one in the future, it should be A.
Yes.
So that we can go back and be like, this is the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yep.
That one's just another one.
Yep.
Perfect. I'm glad we solved that.
Yeah. Solves a mystery. Good job, Sherlock.
Before we venture into stave 2,
Okay.
I think you should take us through the plot of A Christmas Carol. Or A Christmas Carol or The Muppet Christmas Carol. Should you do, like, both?
I mean, they're pretty much the same.
Are they, though?
I never actually read all of A Christmas Carol, so I can't tell you for 100%.
All right. It's been a long time since I've read the entire thing. I read, like, excerpts from it every year, but sure. Yeah. Same. So do whatever you want to do.
All right. So, there's this guy named Scrooge. He's just a Scrooge, which doesn't make sense because we get the word Scrooge from his name because he's so mean. Whatever. So he really hates Christmas and he's mean to everyone and he's going to make all his people work on Christmas. That's how much he hates Christmas. But he loves making money. He loves it. But Bob Cratchit, one of his employees, convinces him for them to take the day off Christmas. So they do. And everyone's doing a bunch of merrymaking, and Scrooge is just being Scrooge. I think it's so funny that it actually makes sense. You know, when you take people's names and use it to mean something bad, it's just kind of mean. But they do that the whole movie. Anyway,
She Britted it.
and so he goes home. He's the only grumpy one, and he's going to bed. And then ghosts appear before him. It's Marley and Marley, his old business partners who were pretty much the same as he was in life, just loving money and taking it and never giving anything back, you know. And they tell him that 3 ghosts are going to appear before him tonight, and hopefully they'll change his life, or else he'll end up in chains like they are, because they're all chained up ghosts. And then they go away. And then first ghost comes, and it's the ghost of Christmas past. And it takes him to Christmases that have come in the past and shows him growing up in school. And then this really sad love story of where he met this girl, but he just loved money way too much again. So, saddest part of the movie. Really really hit me in the heart. Anyways, they break up, and that's when that one ends. And then he goes to Ghost of Christmas Present, and he takes him to all these happy places, and he takes him to Bob Cratchit's house, where he sees Tiny Tim for the first time, who is Bob Cratchit's son, and is all joyful, even though he's got some kind of disease, I'm guessing, and like has a crutch and stuff and can't walk properly. But he's still joyful about everything, and he's the one that says, "God bless us, everyone," and it really hits Scrooge's heart, and you see his heart kind of start to melt before you, and he sees all these other happy things, and he also sees people making fun of him because he's so mean, and that kind of makes him sad. And then that ghost goes away, and he's really sad about it because he taught him so much. And then it's a ghost of, what is it, Christmas to come? I don't remember what the exact... I don't know. It's the future, either way. And so it's this big hooded ghost, and he shows him a lot of sad stuff that I won't spoil if you haven't read it. And then he goes back home, and he pretty much has to decide what he does with all of this stuff that happened to him that night. Is he still going to be a Scrooge, or is he going to be someone new? I don't know. Hopefully you've read this book or seen a play or watched this movie or any of the above and know what happens, because I'm not telling you. But we'll tell you in like the first impression, so I never know why I hold off in telling you in this plot summary, but I do it anyways, so who cares? And that's a Christmas story. Christmas Carol. Who?
A Christmas Carol. A Christmas story is very different.
It is. Very different.
I love A Christmas Carol. It's the best Christmas story.
Yeah.
It's so good, and it's been adapted into oblivion.
Oblivion.
Like so many adaptations. And the tricky thing is, I don't think there's a real this is first impression, by the way. I don't think there's a definitive version of this story, A Christmas Carol. Like a lot of great adaptations, and some that some that handle parts of the story better than others. That we can get into a little later. Because I have like a little Christmas Carol watch list that I've been trying to get through. It's like 11 versions of them, and I've seen like most of them. I still have like 3 or 4 left that I need to watch. But a lot of them do different parts of the story better than others. And I hadn't seen them up at Christmas Carol for a while, so I was definitely looking forward to seeing like what parts of this story do the Muppets get right, or like do the better than other versions, you know?
Yeah.
When's the last time you had seen this? Don't you watch this with your family all the time?
Yeah, we watch this like every year, so I'm pretty sure it was just
so you had it fresh.
Yep.
Okay. What was your first impression?
Oh, this movie's awesome. It's always been a family favorite. Really helps that obviously the source material is amazing, but then you just add the Muppets in, and it's like, we obviously started watching this when we were kids, so it's like the classic tale of A Christmas Carol, but also with Muppets and like songs and like things for kids. So I don't know, it just really grew on us, and we always loved watching it pretty much every year. I don't think we've gone a year without watching it.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
But there were 2 very specific things I was looking forward to in this rewatch. I wanted to, because my favorite scene in all of this story is, you touched on it a little bit in the plot summary. I love the conversation with Belle. That's her name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that conversation, I think, it's like such an important moment in the story. We get to know Scrooge, but we also like, it just serves so many different purposes, and it's like fantastically written in the book. It's just such great writing. But the tricky thing is that, or I think the trickiest thing with adapting this story is capturing the tone. Like, so many stories are like, oh, it's a straight up family story, and we're gonna make it like rated G, and we're gonna eliminate a lot of the darker elements, including one of the most dramatic moments, the conversation with Belle. Like, some versions of the story don't even have it, which is like crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But then there's like Jim Carrey's adaptation from 2009, the Disney version, the one that looks like the Polar Express. It's not a great version of the story, but it has a phenomenal version of that conversation.
I don't even think I ever saw that one or know.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't think very many people did. But like, just YouTube the scene with Scrooge and Belle, because that conversation that they have, it's well acted, it's very dramatic, and it's almost like verbatim from what's in the original text, which is awesome because it's already really well written.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff I was looking forward to seeing in the rewatch. Like, how do they balance the tone of a story that's like really light and beautiful at times and really dark at times with Muppets, you know?
With
So it's like,
Muppets.
how are they going to do that? And what's the girlfriend conversation going to be like? Because I always look forward to seeing how different versions do that.
Nice. Mm-hmm. See, I don't really watch very many other versions of A Christmas Carol, so...
I've seen so many. And it's tough. Like, there really isn't, like, a standout one. It's really like, I'd have to sit you down and be like, this one does this well, but sucks at everything else. And then, you know.
Are you sure? I mean, have you seen Scrooged?
I've seen Scrooged.
Come on. That's probably the definitive one, right?
It's funny, but, you know.
I've never actually seen it all the way, so.
I haven't seen it in a really long time, but I've definitely seen it, and it was one of the movies to edit on the top 10 list, so I combed through it and wrote about it and stuff. So it's a funny version for sure, but I don't think it's kind of just missing what I think makes the story special.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like a novelty adaptation. Even though Bill Murray is great. Come on.
All right, so how'd it hold up?
This is probably the best version.
Oh, why is that?
Because I mean, it's the Muppets, but it's also Michael freaking Caine.
Yeah.
And it's this really nice balance. Like, Michael Caine is playing it so straight, and he's such a great actor to rest all the dramatic weight on while the Muppets are being the Muppets, you know? And the Muppets also, like, they fit so much better than I remember. Like, Fozzie Bear and Fozziewig, come on.
Yeah.
That's genius, you know? And, like...
Brilliant!
It's so good. And, like, even splitting up the Marleys into those two guys. I forget their names. Statler and something.
I have never known their names, so...
Yeah. But, like, them playing the Marleys is great. And Kermit playing Bob Cratchit. It's surprisingly... like, fits so well. Like, you don't necessarily... Like, I bet in the early 90s when this came out, people were like, what? That's gonna be dumb. And then they watched it and they're like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
That fits so well. Yeah, no, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, this is my favorite Christmas movie, I think, period.
Yeah.
I think it's number 1 on my list, which is insane. I didn't expect that. I did expect to enjoy it like I do every year. But just watching it and, like, reviewing it for this podcast, I was like, I think this really is my favorite Christmas movie.
It's really good.
It's so good.
And it's like, there have been so many different adaptations, and it's like, you can just add the Muppets, you can add music and make it different. But they also did stuff like, the fact that Gonzo and Rizzo narrate the thing is such a nice touch. Like, it's a funny way to do something different and to incorporate, like, Dickens-esque writing. It's not just like narration to help us get the plot along. It like adds a bit of style and makes this adaptation different from others.
Yeah.
It's cool. Well done.
And I really did enjoy that the Muppets were there, and just the like feel of it all, the feel that they add and that they take away at times. I'll try to explain that. Just that like they have the music's there, it's added, which I don't see in many versions. Like, because this is a kid's version, it has the music, which I actually enjoyed. And then the Muppets just adding fun when they're supposed to be fun, even though there's a lot of dark elements. But then when the darkest part of the movie is there, they do go away, essentially. I mean, there's Muppets in that scene, but, like, all the funny ones and the, like, happy ones are gone for the last ghost or whatever. So I really enjoyed that they did that just to keep as much as they could in touch with the tone.
Yeah.
So I just really liked them, the way they handled the Muppets in this movie in general, and I really think it added completely overall.
Yeah.
Enhanced the story.
It's just, it is it's sincerely a good version of the story. It has sort of everything that you could want in a Christmas movie and in an adaptation of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
But let me ask you about the bell scene.
I was about to ask you about the bell scene.
Okay, so the thing is that there's like this really beautiful song that Belle begins to sing, and then Michael Caine, the older version, comes in and sings with her, and it's really beautiful. It's not like it's not the young version of Scrooge that Michael Caine is watching. Michael Caine himself sings the song with her.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way to change the scene up. You know, it's not just that dialogue that there is in the book and in the other versions. They actually they sing a song, and it's really moving. But it's not in every adaptation, or it's not in every version of A Muppet Christmas Carol. It was cut from the theatrical version.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
So I don't understand why they did that. Like, it's a great version of this part of the story, and it bums me out that it was cut from the theatrical version.
I know.
I think it should definitely be in every version.
I do too. I didn't even know a version existed without it till about, which I watched the version with it this year, but about 2 years ago we watched the version without it.
Man, it's such a shame.
I was like, what?
Because I feel like the dialogue, it's just the dialogue is so well written in the book. It's so awesome. Like, oh man. Anyways, but I feel like the dialogue that was written in this movie for that conversation, it's not, I don't want to say dumbed down, but it's definitely like more kid friendly, and it's less poetic. It's kind of just like, we were poor, now you want to make a lot of money, or it's like your investments haven't prospered, or whatever. Like, it's just not as interesting.
Yeah, but
to add it with the song,
right? Because I feel like the kids would not have.
Right.
They would just be like, what is this? What are they talking about? I don't get this. I'm done.
That song, yeah, exactly. And that song, so I think that song is like necessary, because it's like,
I agree.
The dialogue isn't there, but it is there in the song, and with the emotion, and with Michael Caine coming in to harmonize.
Of that song. Oh my goodness.
It's so important. Sad. It's like such an important turning point for his character in the story. So it really like, it I don't know. I feel like without it, like, the movie almost comes down a peg without it.
I agree. I completely agree. It goes way down a peg, which is hilarious. I didn't know a song could do that to a movie, but it did.
It would be like The Little Mermaid.
I knew you were going to go for that example. I still don't agree with you on that one.
Come on, that's like a critical moment in that movie. Same here. It's an important song in both stories.
I get that. This is not the place to argue about this. No, I think this song is more critical to this movie than that one is to that one.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay. Both important.
Both
you
important.
Put one above the other.
I'll give you that. They're both important.
Sure.
I just feel like her song encompasses that movie rather than just expressing how she feels so we understand. I mean, we do get that, but I also think we get that from throughout the rest of the movie. It's just expressed in the song. While this song, like, expresses Belle's emotion that we don't really get just from that short bit of dialogue. It's like best way to express it to the audience of children.
Yeah, you don't get it without the song.
Right. While I still think you'll get it in A Little Mermaid, it's just more impactful with that song.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. You know why they cut it? Can you guess?
I think I read a little bit. I think it was Jeffrey Katzenberger's decision, right?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know whose decision it was. I read about it briefly. It's been a long time, but I remember it's just because it was too sad. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I read that Jeffrey Katzenberger, who was like at Disney at the time, who was just like this tyrant, what it sounds like.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. But he made a lot of decisions I don't agree with. Anyways, one of them is he was one of the people that was vocal about this being too sad, like you said, and then they cut it. Which is just like, come on. He also wanted to cut Part of Your World, so that guy's crazy. Oh, man. I guess you win some, you lose some.
I know.
Bummer, man.
With the song in it, best Christmas movie, period. Hands down.
Yeah, we just bought a copy on DVD yesterday. We haven't watched it yet, but I want to know if it has it or not. I'm really curious. I really hope it does. Is there anything about this that didn't quite hold up for you?
I really don't think so. Good
answer.
I think it was all fantastic. I'm trying to think of anything, and it's all so good.
Is there another version of A Christmas Carol that you like?
Just like we go to a play sometimes. That it's just really good. The story's just really good. I can't help it. So like, yeah, there's a play. They play it downtown, and it's just really. I mean, the story's just really good. They always get really good actors, and it's just so moving. Mm-hmm. Even without the Muppets and the songs, it's so great.
How do the two versions compare? Like, as a play and as an adaptation, as a movie adaptation, how do they compare?
I don't know. I just really like plays.
Yeah,
I really like the theater style.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like a theater version of it allows for it to be a little more theatrical, which
Right.
like the writing sort of is more inclined to that. It's really poetic and beautifully written.
Right. It's really hard just to compare different versions because the story is so good. Mm-hmm. I still think the Muppets add just an element of like fun, because the story overall, other than the Ghost of Christmas Present, is pretty somber because we're just around Scrooge the whole time. Even if there's happiness around him, he's still just like meh.
Yeah.
So I feel like this movie, you have the Muppets the whole time and kind of cut back between Scrooge and then Gonzo and Rizzo the whole time. So you kind of, even though Scrooge is meh, you have Gonzo and Rizzo to kind of pick it back up in those like somber moments.
Yeah, it's a really unique element of this adaptation. The Muppets really do bring like such an enjoyable quality to the whole story the entire time through. And but even when you like you said earlier, but they do leave, and that's a really cool decision too.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, just really well crafted. But okay, I'm trying to think of some notable other versions, like the Mickey Mouse. It's Mickey's Christmas Carol from like the early 90s. Oh no, it's from the 80s. Dang. Ooh. It's really good. It was Oscar nominated. It's a really good version. And you got Scrooge McDuck. Like,
Brilliant.
that character is based on Scrooge, obviously. And he's like, it's crazy what kind of a life Scrooge McDuck as a character has had outside of Christmas Carol adaptations. Like,
Yeah.
they just created such a fun spin on the character that it's outlived that or outgrown it. But it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Have I ever told you about Black Adder's Christmas Carol?
I think I've seen it.
Oh, you have?
I think so.
The like British parody?
Yeah. Well, the Blackadder is a show, right?
Yeah.
With the guy who plays Mr. Bean. I can't ever remember his name. Yeah.
So for those of you who haven't seen it, it's like a British parody on the story where Scrooge is actually, he starts out as this really great, generous man. And then by the end of the night, being visited by three ghosts, he realized, oh, I could make so much more money if I was like greedy and rude and stuff. So he becomes a terrible person by the end of it. It's really funny. It's a very dark spin on the story.
Yeah. That's how the Blackadder is. I've seen a few episodes of it. It's just so
it's like I think it's noteworthy for like, you know, that's a funny take. It's a funny spin.
Yeah. Goodness.
There's a version from 1999. I forget who's in it, but I need to see that one. Apparently that one's really good.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one. Because I remember when I was younger, I would tell my friends, oh, we watched the Muppet Christmas Carol. And they're like, well, we watched a Christmas Carol, or like just like a normal version that like came out. But I never saw it, ever. Yeah. I think it's that one, because that sounds about the right time.
Oh, duh! It was a TV movie. That's why I was having trouble finding it. But it's Patrick Stewart as Ebenezer Scrooge.
Interesting.
So yeah, I've seen like clips from it, and he's obviously great. So I need to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
What would you? Okay. Closing question, maybe. What would you be looking for in a new adaptation of A Christmas Carol? What's something that maybe you haven't seen in an adaptation do that you would think could breathe new life into another adaptation?
It's a good question.
Would you go like modern day?
I was about to say, I think I'd want to go modern day, but not funny.
Right.
Like serious. Like play it straight. Mm-hmm. I mean, funny moments in it, great. Not a funny movie.
You don't think it would lose a little bit of it not being the period piece?
It might, but at the same time, that's what everyone's done.
Yep.
I'd say it's worth a shot. It probably might lose some.
The only idea that I would have is I would love to stack the deck with just incredible actors. Like every part, even the small parts, everyone just gets cast as like an Oscar-nominated actor. Every single role.
Yeah.
Because I want a version where I like bawl my eyes out at the end.
And only Oscar nominees, right? Not Oscar winners?
No. Let's give some people a chance. Because that's the thing. I mean, I like this version a lot. But I think there's something really moving about the story that I don't think we've captured on film yet, like the lengths to how moving the story is.
I agree. You just want that Belle scene with a movie that matches it.
Yeah, because the Jim Carrey one is like, it's interesting, but I don't think they pull it off super well. Like, that scene is fantastic. And the fact that Jim Carrey plays all the ghosts, I think, is a really cool element. It's like something that film can do that the book can't quite do. That this idea that Scrooge is kind of haunting himself, like it's his subconscious in the form of three ghosts. But then Gary Oldman also plays multiple characters. It kind of ruins it. Like, Jim Carrey should be the only one doing that.
Yeah.
But Gary Oldman plays Bob Cratchit, Tiny Tim, and Jacob Marley. Like, I can understand him playing Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim. That's the Kermit thing, too. But why is he also Jacob Marley? Doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
It's ridiculous.
Gary Oldman can be whoever he wants.
He's a chameleon, but, come on.
Well, you make yours, I'll make mine. Boom.
Is yours a musical?
No.
Mine either.
It's too happy.
Yeah.
We're bringing people to tears here.
Could be a musical like Les Mis or something.
Yeah. I don't have that kind of talent to write those songs, so is that it?
Yeah. We're moving on to stave, what is this, stave 3?
Stave 3. You and your
Right,
staves, man.
First impression, second impression, topic time.
Oh, wait. First and second impression, I think we're both stave 2.
What's stave 1?
The introduction.
Okay, so this is 3.
That is how you set it up, my friend.
Okay, stave 3. Topic time. So I feel like this could be a quick one. I mean, it's holiday movies. They're not super good. End of topic time.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, because here's the thing. I don't know. It seems hard to, like, reverse engineer a story that's like, oh, it's a movie about this holiday and we'll build a story from there. It's almost like the best holiday movies are ones where the holiday itself is a backdrop. But then people are like, oh, it's not a real holiday movie. Like, Die Hard's an incredible movie. Is it a Christmas movie? Christmas is just kind of the backdrop.
No,
it's a great movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
We watched it yesterday. Man, it holds up.
I'm telling you.
It is so good.
It's so good.
Golly.
We legit watch it pretty much every year. Christmas.
But I was thinking about this topic. I was thinking about holiday movies, and I was wondering, like, is there a holiday movie, and I'm talking all holidays, any holiday, is there one that is, like, legitimately a great movie, despite the fact that it's one that's fun to watch during a holiday? Is it, like, a standout, top-quality movie? And I don't know if there is one.
Do you mean beside a Muppet Christmas Carol?
Besides a Muppet Christmas Carol.
Just kidding.
It's a poor example, but it gets the point across. Like an Oscar-winning holiday movie.
Man, I really have to think about it. I don't think
Uh-huh.
so. And we're talking specifically like it's about the holidays, not just have the holiday as a backdrop, right?
I guess. I mean, that's what I don't know. I mean, that's a tough qualifier.
It's a tough question in general. I genuinely don't think I could think of one.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was trying to think of examples, but like you could watch Independence Day on the 4th of July. That's a great holiday movie, but the movie itself is just like a blockbuster fun movie. It's not like amazing storytelling.
I know. I just feel like so many holiday movies just play on like the holiday and the like feel of that rather than making a great movie.
Mm-hmm. And like the best movies to watch around Halloween are not the ones about Halloween. They're just scary movies, you know?
Right.
That capture the essence of the idea of the holiday, but not the holiday. I mean, Hocus Pocus is great, you know? It's a fun movie, but it's not a phenomenal movie.
I think the closest we do come though is going to be Christmas movies though.
Sure. It's a much more rich holiday.
Yeah.
A lot more themes and ideas to play with.
Which is kind of what I want to talk about as well, because I want there to be other holiday movies about other holidays. But there's just so many Christmas ones.
Mm-hmm.
The two I would say that probably come the closest, both old, are It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street.
Hold on. You said old. Do you mean super old or Matilda old?
Either one, why not? I'll go super old though.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, those are both great. I would lean more towards It's a Wonderful Life
I would as well.
because that's a great movie. But that's another thing. Like, is it really about Christmas? Kind of just takes place during Christmas.
It's true, but at the same time, I think that one's really about the Christmas spirit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely about... What's his name? What's the character's name?
I don't remember.
I can't believe I'm forgetting.
But you do have a point as well, because the story, even if it is about the Christmas spirit, it's still more about this man's life and his decisions rather than
Yes.
Santa Claus or an elf or something else, like related to... I get what you're saying, that it does lean more to, it just has the holiday feel. Even though I still think it encompasses the Christmas spirit, I do think the point you're making stands true. It is very, very, very hard to make like an Oscar-nominated or Oscar-winning or great drama, whatever you want to call it, when it's like legitimately about Santa Claus and Christmas specifically.
Yeah.
Not just a character dealing with Christmas things.
Right. And George Bailey, I mean, it's a story about him. It's a character story. Mm-hmm. But it has to be. Like, I mean, almost every story needs to be funneled through the eyes of a character. It's hard to, like, to do anything but that. You know, It's got to be through a character that we're relating to. So, how do you encapsulate all that Christmas, like, themes and ideas through a character without it becoming... I don't know, something silly.
Right.
Like The Santa Claus. Which is a great movie. Like, we watched it yesterday. It's a great movie, and we talked about it last year. But it does sort of get muddled in, like, what is this about? Because, like, at the end, the kid is like, I love you, Santa, not I love you, Dad. It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of gets kind of weird at the end. But it's a fun movie.
Right.
It's a Wonderful Life is good. That's a good... I think you're right. I think it's probably the closest we've gotten.
Yeah. I think it's just so hard because the Christmas movies are all just... Like, they're family-driven, supposed to be happy, maybe a little funny. It's hard to just have a dramatic Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to pull that off since they're supposed to be full of cheer and match the season, etc.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still think that's the closest we've gotten. Because everything else is just supposed to be hilarious or cheerful.
How do you feel about Iron Man 3?
Not a Christmas movie.
Man, I wish they did what you... I remember you telling me, like, your idea, and I wish that Marvel did this. I think every Phase 2 movie should have taken place during Christmas. That would have been awesome.
Awesome. Why else make Christmas stand out in one of them if not to show the time in which everything is taking place? I thought that would have been so cool.
It would have been really cool. And then it's like, well, yeah, they couldn't help each other out. It was all happening at the same time. Would have been brilliant.
Hire me, Marvel.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
Doesn't Kiss Kiss Bang Bang take place during Christmas?
I think part of it does. I don't know. Why do you keep bringing up Robert Downey Jr. movies?
Well, Shane Black movies. Shane Black likes to set things during Christmas, which I think I realized this year is probably a nod to Die Hard, right? Because he made a ton of action comedies. That's kind of his thing, and so it would be a nice little nod to the best action movie.
Oh, is it the best?
I think so.
Man, looks like we're gonna have to do a podcast over it.
I mean, we can, but it was awesome. It's still awesome.
Podcast done. There you go. Boom.
It's so good.
Yeah. All right. So, favorite Christmas movie? Legit, The Muppet Christmas Carol?
I want it to be, and I think it's probably close, but I don't know.
I know.
Like,
it's tough.
It's tough because it's like there's so much like preference and bias to like what I feel is my favorite Christmas movie. It's like which Christmas movie puts me in the Christmas mood, and so much of it is like which one did I watch a million times during the holidays that takes me right back.
Yeah.
You know, and it's probably like the Santa Claus.
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Oh, but that cannot be your favorite.
I
Do you
know.
remember
I wish
what
it was
we talked
better.
about last year?
I wish it was a better movie, you know?
What about Home Alone?
But it's good. It's not bad. It's just not the great. Home Alone is great. It's very fun. But I don't know. There are moments where Home Alone tries to get sentimental. You know, like there's the church scene and stuff or whatever. And I just don't think it does that super well. It is like this fun madcap like Christmas comedy, but it doesn't make me feel like Christmas tingly because it's just kind of sad. They forget the kid. You know? Come on. I don't know. It's a good one.
I just think it's so funny that Die Hard is legitimately on lists. Like if you look up great holiday movies, Die Hard's
Yeah, it was on our list. It was on Screw Attack list.
I just think it's funny that it actually makes it to those lists.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's hilarious.
A Nightmare Before Christmas, like the beginning, is very Christmassy, and I like that.
Yeah.
Like, what's this as a really fun Christmas song?
It's crazy how many Christmas Carol adaptations there are, though.
So many.
And how many of them are just called some version of Scrooge. Scrooged, Scrooge. There's Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah. That's a good one if you haven't seen it. Solid. How do you feel about Elf?
I love Elf.
Okay.
I feel like that's a lot of people's favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, I know. It really is. And I feel like it's just a splash overrated. Just a splash.
Wow.
I think it's really good.
Well, I love it.
Just a smidge.
It's not my favorite, though, but...
Because it's like, it's really funny. Like, it's top-notch, like, Christmas comedy. It's really good stuff. But then it takes a turn at the end where it's like, okay, now we got to tell a story. Here we got to tell really quick. Let's go.
So, really quick story.
Because it's a movie. Don't forget it's a movie. And then, and then they tie it into a bow at the end.
Where does It's a Wonderful Life fall in your list?
It's been a long time since I've seen it. Actually, like, I know because I didn't grow up watching it. I watched it like, I don't know, maybe it was like towards the end of high school or beginning of college, and loved it, but haven't seen it all the way through since then.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds like
it'd be a good one to do.
Next year's Christmas movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, anytime you watch a movie that's like that iconic, it adds to it. It's like, I remember the first time I watched it, I was just like, oh, this is where all this stuff is from. This is where all these references are from, because it's this iconic movie. And that was part of it. It was like fun to view something that has had a large impact on media and film.
Yeah.
I did fight for It's a Wonderful Life to be on the Screw Attack Christmas list, but
but
got bumped.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the argument in the office was because it's not like explicitly about Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Wait, is Die Hard?
That's the one. We were like, we can only do one that's not explicitly about Christmas, and it's either A Wonderful Life or it's Die Hard.
Yeah.
Two very different movies.
Yeah. They're so great, though. Both of them.
Yeah.
So wonderful. What about The Family Man? Does that count as Christmas?
Is that Nicolas Cage?
That is Nicolas Cage.
I don't remember it.
Well, time to rewatch it then.
Is it The Family Man based on something?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because isn't it kind of like a Christmas story? Or, I mean, not Christmas. Isn't it kind of like It's a Wonderful Life? Or A Christmas Carol? It's like a fusion of the two.
I'm pretty sure it's just like It's a Wonderful Life. Except for the opposite. It's more of... No, I think it's the same. Yeah, it's like, this is what could have happened, but didn't.
Yeah. The poster says, what if? I don't remember it, but I have vague memories of it being sort of that. It's like he sees a life he could have had with some woman, and they have kids and stuff, and during the holidays, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it might be one worth watching or rewatching. I don't remember it. You think we're going to start considering Star Wars movies to be Christmas movies?
Oh, I already do. And Harry Potter movies. They always have a Christmas scene in them.
Oh, man. Because if we're doing that, then, it's The Last Jedi. His favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, but aren't they going to stop coming out in
No,
December?
they keep trying, but they like are going for middle of the year releases, and then they keep getting pushed back.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what happened with The Last Jedi, and I think Rogue One. So I'm fine with that. Keep pushing them back.
Yeah, I know. Keep coming back to December.
Push Han Solo back, man. Do it. It'll just give you more time to make it better.
It's true.
Ugh.
All right. Well, anything else?
I think that's it.
It's the show.
On to Stave 4.
Stave 4.
The wrap up.
What a great stave.
I think it's called, in a Christmas or in A Christmas Carol, the final stave 5, is the end of it. So here we are. It's day 5, the end of it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate it. Merry Christmas. I hope you listen to it on your brand new Google Home, in front of your family, in front of the fireplace, in the Christmas tree. Everybody's sipping on some hot cocoa, listening to Afterthoughts, and everyone's like, I agree with this.
Great opinions.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to another year of Afterthoughts. We really appreciate it. It's been fun. If you want to keep supporting the podcast, just share it. Share it with a friend. That'd be great. That'd be a cool thing to do. Someone who hasn't heard the podcast and, well, might like it. That'd be awesome. And we'll be back next week with some other movies. I can't remember which ones they are right now, but who cares? Have a happy new year. Have a good Christmas day. We hope you got everything that you wanted, but also at the same time, hope you realize that it's not about material possessions, so don't worry about it. Do you want to close out with the Tiny Tim line?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
God bless us, everyone.
Beautiful.
See, I thought what threw me off is like, is it longer than that? Nope, that's it.
That's all it is. It's great.
Have a Merry Christmas, everyone.
See you next week.